The game of basketball was created in December of 1891 by YMCA gym teacher James Naismith in Springfield, Massachusetts. To create the game, he used a peach basket, a 10-foot pole, and a soccer ball. In 1891, the first ever basketball game was played between Naismith's students. It took quite a while, but a point was eventually scored, and basketball's first ever game concluded with an epic final score of 1-0. James Naismith would adjust the rules of the game over the next 20 years, and the game would continue to evolve. In 1892, dribbling became a legal move. In 1893, the first ever women's collegiate basketball game was played. In 1895, the popularity of basketball spread, and basketball became an established sport that was played through numerous high schools and college universities. By 1901, basketball collegiate competition was taking place all around the United States. As the years went on, Naismith added a backboard and created a leather basketball. In 1906, an iron ring with a woven net was used and replaced peach baskets. In the 1920s, small basketball leagues were forming around the country. Among these groups that formed were the Harlem Globetrotters, whose flashy and entertaining style helped spread basketball's popularity. In 1936, basketball officially became an Olympic sport, with the gold medal game played outside in raining conditions. In 1937, professional basketball established the NBL, meaning the National Basketball League, which became the first official pro basketball league. In 1939, NCAA basketball held their first official championship tournament. In 1946, competition arose for the NBL. The BAA, which means the Basketball Association of America, was established by Walter Brown. The NBL's popularity was slightly greater than the new BAA, but the BAA was quickly on the rise, while hosting major basketball games in the Boston Garden and Madison Square Garden. From 1946 to 1949, the two leagues competed intensely to be the top basketball league in America. That was until August of 1949. Leaders of the NBL and the BAA met at the Empire State Building, and the two groups agreed to a merger of both leagues, which became the National Basketball Association, or of course as we know it, the NBA. George Mikan was just beginning his basketball career in the mid-1940s and became the first NBA star in a league that would become all about stars. In 1954, the 24-second shot clock was introduced to the NBA to expedite the game's tempo. In 1956, Bill Russell was drafted by the Boston Celtics, which was the beginning of the NBA's greatest dynasty in history. On March 2, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain had the greatest scoring performance in NBA history, individually scoring 100 points in a single game. In 1970, Oscar Robertson, a legendary NBA player and former president of the NBA Players Association, filed an antitrust lawsuit against the NBA. The suit was settled in 1976, which resulted in the creation of NBA free agency, which allowed player mobility by choice of the players. In 1976, the NBA and the ABA, which was the American Basketball Association, merged into one league. The NBA treated it as an expansion and absorbed 4 teams from the ABA, increasing the league from 18 to 22 teams. In the 1970s, the league's popularity had taken hits amidst on-court violence and alarming amounts of drug abuse throughout the association. In 1978, Larry Bird was drafted by the Boston Celtics, and in 1979, Magic Johnson was drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers. This sparked the greatest rivalry in NBA history, which led the NBA to record heights of popularity and viewership. And Magic and Bird are now commonly seen as the saviors of the NBA. In 1984, Michael Jordan was drafted by the Chicago Bulls. Michael would be the one to take the torch from Bird and Magic, and Jordan would carry the league to new heights throughout the 1990s. In 1992, the USA Olympic basketball team included NBA players for the first time in Olympic history. Led by Jordan, Magic, and Bird, the Dream Team dominated the Barcelona Summer Olympics, and the team is commonly credited for increasing the NBA's popularity onto a global scale. After Jordan's final retirement in 2003, players like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Tim Duncan, Allen Iverson, and Steph Curry took the torch and have helped the NBA's brand grow into the league we know.
Welcome to Physical Education PATH-FIT4 BSBA2, and BSHM2. So welcome to this subject. So hopefully, magkasinabot tayo in this second semester. So, by the way, let me introduce myself first. I'm Isagani Q. Planas, a MAPI teacher, PE teacher, and in this school, not only for instructor, but also I am a choreographer, a coach in this institution. So hopefully, magkasinabot tayo in this second semester. Before we're going to discuss in this video, so let me introduce first our module. So in this module, hopefully naka-print tamon tanan ha. In this module, if you notice, naadiri tanan ang inyong instructions. So just follow my instructions. You have your first video instructions that I posted in our page. So karon ang deadline this Saturday ang deadline. So next is, so what is in this module? So unsa kay naani? So in this module, so nadiri ang first page ng introduction, second page the basketball court. So para inyong makuan basig na ay uban wala naka second and so on. Please check, okay? Please check your module first before you're going to ask something. So nanadiri tanan ang module. So this video is only support video in discussion to your module para dili kayo mo mag-listen. So in this module also naka-attach na dinhi ang inyong mga activities. Like for example, activities sa prelim exam na dinhi. And also your midterm exam, because this module is cover na diri ang prelim and midterm. So paminaw gyud pag maayo kay in this last of this video discussion na ako'y activity ihatag and deadline na diri tanan. So hopefully inyo ning mag-review yun ninyo dili lang kay lakad-lakad. So are you ready? So let's discuss about basketball. What is a basketball? Unsa kaning basketball? So what if I know this is a common game? In this second semester, we're going to discuss basketball, a common game sa asa. But for this pandemic, so nga freeze tanan ang mga practices, everything. So what is a basketball? Basketball, siguro, this is a team sports. Of course, when you say team sports are when one group or teams plays against another group or team in a competition. So the team member works together to achieve a common goal. So dapat yun mo mag-win because this is a teamwork kumbaga. So this differs from individual sports where one individual competes against another and maintain to improve physical ability and skills while providing enjoyment to participants. So, have you noticed if mananaw mo basketball, morag eager kay sa inyo, apil mo bukan siya kung pwede mangaway pa lang mo, di ba sa kontra? So, this we call the providing enjoyment to participants. And in some cases, entertainment for spectators. Mo ni siya. Sa laktod nga pag-istorya, this would be entertaining to us. Like NBAs, sa atong local po, dito sa Philippines, napunta. So, PBA, na. So, again, this is in some cases entertainment for spectators. Sports can bring positive results to one's physical health, not only for playing, but it can bring us to positive one's physical health. So that is a team sport. So hopefully you can get my introduction of this team sport. So let's proceed para dili na kayo nimo taas itong video. So let's talk about basketball. What is a basketball? Our topic for this morning is all about the history of basketball. So, sa history, I know maybe you read all the contents of this module. So, the history of the basketball began with us inventions in 1891. So in Springfield, Massachusetts, by Canadian physical education instructor Dr. James Naismith as less injury-prone sports than football. The game became established very quickly and grew very popular in the 20th century progress. The first in America and then throughout the world. After basketball became established in American colleges, the professional game followed the American National Basketball Association or the NBA. Muna din na siya NBA kana inyong gatan-aw karon. So, this very established game. So, established in 1946, grew to a multi-billion-dollar enterprise by the end of the century. And basketball became an integral part of American culture. But not also in American, na-adapt na nato diri sa Philippines. And not only adapting, gihimo na siyang part of our course subject in our academic and also in our school. It is part of these sports. Di gini mawala. Okay, this is Dr. James Naismith. So Dr. James Naismith, muna siya, picture, invention of the game. So, siya ang nag-invent sa game. The game of basketball is a part known today was created by Dr. James Naismith in December 1891. No exact date, just a year. So, 1891 na create ni Dr. James Naismith. So, that was in Springfield, Massachusetts. The conditions young athletes during the cold month. It is consisted of pitch baskets and soccer-style ball. He published 13 rules sa una na pay 13 karon morag na dungagan na. As you notice, naa diri sa module ang mga rules, naa size, naa na diri tanan. So, he published 13 rules for the new game. He divided his class in 13 into 2 teams, 9 players each, and set about to teach them the basic of new game. The objective of the game was throw the basketball into the fruit basket nailed the lower railing of the gym balcony. Muna sa una pang panahon, uni ilang style para magsugod. Pero karon nanagid tay mga court, nanagid tay ko. So, sa una, ila pa nang gipanglangsang lower drilling sa ilang gym, na sila gym. Every time a point was scored, the game was held to the janitor called bring out a ladder and retrieve the ball. After a while, the bottoms of the fruit basket were removed. The first public basketball game was played in the Springfield, Massachusetts in March 11, 1892. So March 11. So meaning nagpila na ka anniversary last March 11. So karon 13 I think we're okay, I'm back. So again, so the first public basketball game was played in Springfield, Massachusetts on March 11, 1892. So therefore nag-anniversary ang basketball last March 11. So ito lang the other day. So that's it. So next. So let's talk about the original rules of the basketball. There were only 13 rules of basketball. So as what have you noticed? No. So the first one, the ball may be thrown in any direction with one or both hands. The ball may be batted in any direction with one or both hands. So I know kamo sa inyo mostly butang nato in my expectation in this course this BA siguro 90% of the students knew about basketball. So for the original rules. So let's talk about kay naman tayo ang rules karon not only 13. So daghan na siya. So muna atong bantayan. So say a third one, the player cannot run. Oh yes, cannot run with the ball. The player must be thrown at any spot which the catches. The allowance catches the ball when running at good speed. So bawal gyud na siya mukuan. So kabalo naman siguro mo ana. The ball must be held in the between the hand. The arms or the body not used for holding it. Dili na siya imo na siyang layog-layogon. Dapat imo ra gyud na siyang kung memorize ninyo ang mga rules nato ani tanan, makabalo, especially natay mga players diri sa ato mga kuan. Kabalo ko natay mga players. So dapat ako na silang pangkuanan. Invite. So nay mga fouls. Number 5, no holding, no shouldering, no holding, no pushing, no strip, no striking or any person opponent. Mo na siya. 6, no foul. A foul, strike the ball with the fist. Violations of rules 3 and 4. Magtagaan mo violations kung wala mo nag-follow sa rules. Ingana na siya ha. Next, 7. Either side makes 3 consecutive fouls. Mo na siya. Ako lang kuanon, paspason. 9. When the ball goes out of the bounds, it shall be thrown into the field and played by the person first touching. So, mo na siya. Kung isa ito una nakakuan, balik na sa iya. Number 10, the umpire shall be the judge. Kumbaga, kung sasayaw na judges, so ang mga umpire, sila ang gabantay anak ng referee na sa table. So, if you've seen in our courts, sa atong mga barangays, kung natay mga basketball league na ana sila mga par, na sila gipang follow nga rules tanan. So dili gyud mag-vote. Di ka pwede mosupak. Mosupak ka, ayon na lagdula. So, asa na ta? So number 10, the umpire shall be the judges. So of the game, the umpire shall call a foul of them. Muna sila ang mga referees. So, number 11, the referee shall be the judges of the ball or shall decide when the ball is in play. So, muna siya ang referee, muna siyang na-referee para siya ang makatawag whistle sa mga foul violation in each players ngayong pambuhaton. Next, so, the time shall be 15 minutes and half with the 5 minutes rest between. So, 15 minutes and half and 5 minutes rest between. Muna siyang basketball. So, number 13, the last one, the side making the most goals in that time shall be declared the winner. Kung kinsa tong pinaka taas ang score, muna siya ang declared nga winner. In this case of a draw, the game may be agreement of the captains to continue until another goal made. So, muna siyang gingon nga. Nana po yung ikuan nga. Time, again, depende sa naagrihan. So, the first basketball game. The first basketball court, nana siya in this picture. Muna siyang basketball court. If you notice na ay basket. Muna siyang basket. Kasi na basket man gigamit. Pag makashoot, they're going to get a ladder then pauna po ang bola. Karon gibuslutan na. So in December 21, 1891, James Naismith published the rules of the new games using the 5 basic ideas of the 13 rules. That day, he asked his class to play match the Harmony Street Courts 9 versus 9 using the soccer ball into pitch basket. 9 versus 9 pa sa una. Karon, lahi na pod. Professional leagues, teams, and organizations. So, natay mga organizations. The first professional league was founded in 1898. 16 teams took part in the National Basketball League. And the first champion were the Trenton National, followed by the New York Wanderers, the Bristol File Drivers, and the Carmon Electrics. The leagues was abandoned in 1904. So here comes the NBA. The NBA basketball leagues was found in New York City on June 6, 1946. And the Basketball Association of America, the BEA, the league adopted the name National Basketball Association or NBA. Ilan na rin i-adapt na nawala na siya ang Basketball Association of America, BEA. So nahimo na siya ang NBA. In 1949, after merging the rival National Basketball League, as part of the early 21st century, the NBA is the most significant professional basketball league in the world in terms of popularity, salaries, talents, and level of competitions. Muna siya ang kwan. So, nag-merge na ang mga kwan. So, ang Amerika, na sila yung NBA. Until now, NBA still exists. So, that's it. Before we're going to end this video slide, so, I will introduce your second video activity about basketball. In your module, there is an activity. So if you notice activities 1 to 5, so you're going to answer number 1. I will read number 1 activity. So first, make a blog about history of basketball. So when you're going to make a blog, so therefore reporting lahi ang reporting. Ang blog is, di ba, you notice, I know you are familiar with the blog style of discussion. So when you say you're making a blog about history of the basketball, you're going to make everything na may mga pangbuhaton sa blog ninyo. You can mix it, your video, butangig mga effects. Muna siya mga vlogs. There's an effects input in your videos. Kung what you are going to discuss, butangan yung effects. For example, history, and send mga pictures, na nyo pang add. Sound effects also include in this one. So, when is the deadline for this one? Deadline is on, ang nakabutang there is 3rd week, start of our class. So, the deadline for this one is on this coming March Saturday. So, this coming Saturday, first Saturday man karon, deadline for this first video, 3 questions, COVID-19 and sports karon. So, this time, we're going to, and second video, you're going to pass that on Saturday. So, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, March 20. Okay, the title of this activity to be passed on Saturday, March 20 is History of the Basketball. You're going to post that in our page. So, don't forget to caption your name, your person section. So, asa mo na belong. So, that's it. So, if you have some questions, you can PM me sa akong Facebook account. Thank you.